What happened during the movie that night?
After the previews and everything, there were a couple scenes, and then um, Catwoman was stealing pearls, and I think the next scene was just about to begin at that point.
What do you recall happening during that scene in the movie?
During the Catwoman scene, um,
In your theater, what happened in your theater during that scene?
in the right-hand corner, there just kind of appeared a figure, and it seemed like he was in a doorway because there was just light all behind him, and it was a very broad, large figure completely in black, and it seemed like his limbs and his chest and everything was almost blocky or like just broadened a lot.
What do you recall after seeing that figure?
A canister of gas was thrown like towards the left, like exit behind us, kind of in that direction. And its like tail of gas was lit up by the theater screen.
What do you recall happening after that?
There was a very loud bang, and I don't remember it all getting onto the floor, but I was laying with my stomach flat, with my right arm close to my body and my left around my head. And my head was closer to the left aisle and my feet were kind of behind.
What do you remember while you were on the ground happening in the theater?
Listening to these loud bangs, and that's not a good enough description for the force and the volume that they were. And at one point, I turned my head up to see these like sparks kind of towards the projector, but above my head, and they were like red or orange. And I started to feel like a stinging or some sort of something like obstructing my airway. And I was wearing a black and gold scarf, so I put it to my mouth.
What do you recall after putting that scarf to your mouth?
After that, I just started getting this very calm, kind of serene sensation that I was going to die.
Your Honor, 403, 401.
Overruled?
Sorry, could you say that last part again?
Yeah, I was lying there, just everything was still going on, but within my own body, I felt like it was very calm. If I was going to shut down, I was going to be done, and I was under the impression that I would be shot through my chest. I didn't.
Same objection, Your Honor, 401, 403.
All right, move on, Mr. McGuire.
How old were you that night in the theater on July 19th, 2012?
I was 17 years old.
How old was your sister, Cierra?
Cierra was 16.
Your Honor, if I may approach the witness with what's been marked as People's Exhibit 4716.
Yes?
Ms. Cowden, do you recognize the person in that photograph?
That is my dad.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit People's Exhibit 4716.
Any objection?
No objection.
With that objection, it is admitted.
If I could please have 4716. Is this a picture of your dad?
I think I may have actually taken this on a hike that my sisters and my dad and I went on.
Thank you very much. So, Ms. Cowden, you were telling the jury about how you were on the ground, what you were hearing. What do you remember after that?
Still lying on the ground while I was expecting either the gas or a bullet, my attention turned to my dad saying, "I love you."
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay, 401, 403.
Sustained.
And then there
Move to
was a
strike, excuse
pause
me.
in the bullet. Sorry.
I sustain the objection. I've given the jury an instruction about my rulings when I sustain objections. The jury understands that. Move on.
After you remember hearing that, what do you remember happening next in the theater?
I was saying Dad, but I stood up because there was a pause in the bullets, and just moving towards that left aisle and abandoning my dad, just leaving him and going to the stairs.
What do you recall doing when you went down the stairs?
Down the stairs, Cierra was close to my left at this point, and we started down. And the stairs are like longer, wider ones, and then shorter. And upon one of these longer ones was what I thought a female body, like her torso, coming out from the aisle, and her face was bloodied, and I couldn't really distinguish any of her features because she was so bloody.
Object at this point to 401 and 403.
Overruled.
You may continue, Ms. Cowden.
So this woman was on the stairs and Cierra tried to pause. She didn't want to step over her, and I just commanded her to go. And so we kept going down and around the left exit and just got to the lobby where I realized she wasn't right next to me, and I looked back and called her name. And then we bolted through doors that were being held open at that point.